We should just go for this, right? So, what's it like to draw like somebody else? Is it possible? How do we respond to our own characteristics? Does that impact how we draw? Let's have a look. So, we've got a few examples, some heroes. So we've got Peter Cook, we've got Ken Adam, Tinker Hatfield. So not all about interiors. Dilla Scafidio. First one we're going to do though is the boss, which is Francis D.K. Ching. Let's do it. Why is he the boss? Because I really identify with the way he draws. Generally, I'm self-taught, as presumably he was. He does it through observation, he does it through trial and error, which is so super important as you teach yourself drawing and develop those skills. He very much sees drawing as seeing and thinking being the most important aspects, and he also sees the idea that you build education on drawing as a foundation. So, you know, I think we can all agree that that's still pertinent and key today. When you start kind of digging a little bit more into the way in which he kind of draws out that educational process, certainly in terms of the older editions of the books and the online information, primarily he's about that notebook, that sketchbook, and taking down information from the environment. Now he would very much support, I think, the idea of iPads and tablets and digital drawing, because the foundations of that still apply. It's exactly the same. But I think my belief in terms of drawing is you've got to do it by hand first and then move into the digital, because that's the only true way you understand about line weight, kind of the foreground background ideas of line weight and hierarchy within the drawings. In terms of other aspects of the book that he picks up upon, the language of architectural graphics relies on the power of a composition of lines to convey the illusion of a three-dimensional construction or spatial environment. So what we start to see within the drawing, and this is my version of a number of the drawings within the architectural graphics book, you have to be so diligent in maintaining those parallel lines, and that's obviously where the term parallel line drawing comes from. You have to be diligent in every part of it, whether it's, as is the case here, you're shading in boxes. You've got to give them the time and effort they deserve. The other aspect of this is, as I've suggested, is just practice. Albeit I'm producing a video that gives an indication of how I've gone around this, I've looked at the individual elements, so in this case some sort of signpost or series of timbers, and just observed, looked, and worked out how to do that. There wasn't a video to show me. What we start to see in here is ideas of thick and thin lines to make it stand out off the page. This is sped up by about 800%, so it's probably this 5-minute or so video probably took somewhere near 35-40 minutes. But this really taps into, I guess, how I think. It has that sort of logic, that methodical nature to it. I'm quite curious to see when we look at other designers, illustrators, whatever they might be, how I can take these ideas and almost adapt them or leave them behind possibly to draw in slightly different ways. The idea in, I guess, with Ching, and I guess from my own perspective, is that you almost start with a cube in everything that you do, and then you break into it. You can create curved kind of planes, edges within a drawing, starting with that cube. So I kind of always go back to those principles. start to get a little bit of an idea of kind of looser, albeit I don't love the term sketch, drawings, loose drawings, let's say. So you've got a section there drawn very quickly. He gives examples of sun path and circulation and using the drawing as a diagram, so it provides more information just the drawing itself. Start looking at sections, sight lines. And these are super quick, and these tell that story. And then we get into something a little bit more spatial, very light. Okay, so I hope that sums up the Francis D.K. Ching drawing style, and I hope I've done it justice. Feel free to post any comments, any ideas you have around other drawing styles, or perhaps people I should try and emulate. We'll see how I get on, and we'll see which the next one is. And that's it. End of vlog. Thanks very much.